Hi. Sorry for the delay. I'm having some issues. I really need a new tripod. I've said this before. I know I've said this before, but it's like there's no good height. It's like I'm sitting down, then I stand up, and I don't know. It's not a good height. Hi to everybody. Sorry, I'm fiddling with things, and hello. Getting a lot of hellos. Hi. Yeah, so I'm all out of sorts right now because I've been fiddling with the stupid tripod. Maybe take care of the tooth. I am taking care of the tooth, actually. My wife's idea, in fact. She's like, hey, maybe you should have some whiskey. I'm drinking, for those interested, Glenfiddich Scotch. My wife, that's right, Marie. I'll do the Borat as well. I'm sorry, they're coming fast and furious. Someone said something about, did I hear about Stan Lee? I did, and just the last time, yes, that is a big bottle. I'm not drinking it all. Last time I was over at CS's house, he gave me this. A viewer sent it to him, and he passed it on to me. And were there time, I would actually watch this tonight because I'm very sad. Did I see they released an Emmett Otter CD? Movie Collector asks. I did see that. I want to pick that up. It's also coming back to it's coming to movie theaters in December. Fathom Events is going to be running Emmett Otter's Jug Band Christmas and a holiday themed episode of Fraggle Rock on the big screen. So I'm pretty excited about that. Is my camera orientation like super off? Have I, Gavin asked, have I seen Bohemian Rhapsody? I have not. I don't know when I'm going to get a chance to see that. Joey Baseball, I did not find the shirt in my size, unfortunately. I found some variations, but not the one I really want. It's a little bit of a Dutch angle. Ooh, thank you, Joey. Nice and sexy. I think I'm a little prepared tonight. I got some movies here. You know, we talked on the last live stream, which, by the way, my God, you guys just watched me die live last week. My voice was just going, and I got so sick. And by Wednesday, man, I was out of commission totally on Wednesday. And I'm back now, except for a toothache. Brought on, by the way. If you're wondering why my toothache's so bad, it was brought on by over-aggressive flossing. So, you know, they tell you floss your teeth. Don't floss them too hard. You'll cause a toothache. That's what they don't tell you. So anyway, no, I haven't seen Bohemian Rhapsody yet. The last movie I saw Overlord. I actually shot a video about Overlord, and I just haven't posted it yet because I shot 2 videos in one day. I shot a video where I talked about the new Michelle Yeoh Star Trek series, and then I also shot a video where I talked about the movie Overlord. I shot them on the exact same day, and I try not to release 2 videos on the exact same day, so I've kind of been sitting on that one. Am I picking up any of the Tuesday releases tomorrow? Yes, I am. Star Trek Discovery. Season 1 of Star Trek Discovery is coming out tomorrow, and Best Buy has a Steelbook exclusive. So I will be going to Best Buy to pick up the Steelbook exclusive Season 1 of Star Trek Discovery. John asked if I want to see Fantastic Beasts 2. I do. And I don't know when I'm going to get to see it. My wife and I usually see those movies together, but we have a scheduling conflict where we can't seem to make it work. The time, our local theaters, the times they're showing Fantastic Beast are the most inconvenient times imaginable. So I think we're going to have to do the tag team approach. One of us sees it, the other one comes home, takes over for the kids, the other one sees it, which we do that occasionally. It's not our preferred method of watching movies, but it looks like that's going to be the case with Fantastic Beasts. Now, I do have reservations already. I do have my tickets reserved for a week from tomorrow, a week from Tuesday, for Creed 2. So I do have Creed 2 tickets. I'm doing that one solo. My wife's not going. If you listen to our podcast, Honey, You've Got to See This, where we make each other watch movies that the other hasn't seen, she really has seen very few of the Rocky movies. I just introduced her. She'd seen Rocky 1 when I met her, and I just, on the podcast, made her watch Rocky 2. So she's way behind on Rocky. She ain't ready for Creed 2 yet. And I told her she has to at least get... She's like, well, can't I just watch Creed 1? I'm like, you got to at least get to Rocky 4. Because even though Rocky 4 is like my least favorite Rocky movie, Creed 2 is kind of a direct sequel to Rocky 4. So... Jesse says Rocky 5 is his favorite. You know what? Joey, I have 2 podcasts, Mega Podtastic and Honey, You Gotta See This, which is the one I do with my wife. Though my wife does Mega Podtastic too, so technically I do them both with my wife. I agree with you, Jesse. Rocky 5 is a totally underrated movie. I don't think it's a great movie, but I always say it's a noble failure. I say it's a noble failure because even though I personally don't think the movie works, I see what Stallone was trying to do with it, and I like what he was trying to do. I always say Rocky 6, which I think is probably the second best Rocky movie after Rocky 1. I always say Rocky 6 kind of felt like, to me, the Rocky 5 do-over. Like, hey, I want to take it back to its roots. I want to take it back to... You know, he's not the richest guy around, make it a little more down to earth. But he executed that scenario so much better in Rocky 6. So it's like, I look at Rocky 5 and I'm like, I get where you're going with this. And there's Jules making his appearance. But I don't think it really works. But I like it better than Rocky 4, which is just a music video. It's entertaining. Don't get me wrong, the Rocky 4 is an entertaining film. It's just my least favorite of the Rocky movies. And yeah, the age jumping of the son, that's with all the movies though. It's ridiculous. This Rocky's son is born in Rocky 2 and he's a newborn. Then we get to Rocky 3 and he's like 5 or 6, and then Rocky 4, he's a little older. Then Rocky 5, he's like, it's just that kid age jumps like you wouldn't believe. Someone asked, I'm sorry, I gotta scroll back and see the question again. I know it looks weird when I scroll back because my finger goes on there. What is my favorite 70s sitcom? 70s sitcom, oh boy, I'd have to say Taxi. I really like Taxi. I'm also a huge Cheers fan, and I think it's a lot of the same guys behind the scenes on Cheers and Taxi. So, oh, wait, guy, don't knock things down. Please don't knock things down. You got that tail, you wag it around, and just don't knock things down, okay, buddy? Look, I don't mind you being there. Just mind your tail. He's knocking over Captain Kirk. Yeah, Cheers was the 80s, but Taxi kind of was in a way the precursor to Cheers. It was a lot of the same writers, same directors. I think James Burrows. I should do this show with an iPad because I'm using the phone to shoot it. I should have an iPad so when something comes up, I can look it up and go. But yeah, it's a lot of the same behind the scenes guys. So I always kind of feel like Taxi led to Cheers. I also have a serious love for What's Happening. I really love What's Happening. Did I watch the Bob Newhart show? Yes. I always liked Newhart, his show in the 80s, better though. The one where he ran the inn. And by the way, Newhart, greatest final episode of a TV series ever. That was just amazing. Sanford and Son and the Jeffersons, Jesse says they're both classic. Love them both. Dynamite! All right, Jules, do you have to whack me with the tail? Really? You know, last week you were sleeping on the couch. Why don't you go take a nap, buddy? Go take a nap. Little trivia. My wife and daughter hate when I go to the zoo because every time we pass the red fox, I say, Elizabeth, I'm coming to join you. And my daughter just rolls her eyes and's like, really? Really? Every time. And I explained to her that I have to build a legacy because someday I'm going to die. And I need her to say to her kids when she sees a red fox, You know what your grandfather used to do every time he saw a red fox? I got to build my legacy now. So, all right, look. You're like determined to knock over all those Star Trek toys, aren't you? Come on. Come on. I'm sorry, buddy. You're knocking things over. I'd let you stay there. Never a dull moment. So how's everybody tonight? A lot of cool news in the last couple of days. Well, first of all, some sad news. We lost Stan Lee. That's heartbreaking. Hang on. I'm going to step off camera just for a second. Got something to show you. Sorry, I wasn't prepared with this. I didn't think of it till just now. This is exciting viewing, isn't it? I'm not there. Okay. So I come back from Dragon Con. I'm wearing Rick's shirt, by the way. Gotta support your YouTube friends. So by the way, did anyone see Adventures by George? Adventures by George did a video where he was at a video game convention in Florida. He just posted it today. And Super Enthused did a video from the same convention. And I think Negro Orlando may have done one too. I apologize to all these guys because I love them, but I'm behind in my YouTube. Just too many people posting stuff. I can't keep up. But Explorer Ryan was in those videos, and he was wearing a Megapodtastic shirt. Made me smile. I saw it, and I'm like, I wasn't expecting it either. I'm just watching it, and I'm like, hey. So that made me happy. But anyway. And then CS was wearing one the other day. See, makes me happy. I don't know, makes me happy. So I return the favor. I try to wear their shirts. So I got off track. I was going to tell you a story. I come back from Dragon Con last year, and I'm unpacking my bag, and I pull this out. And my wife says, why did you buy that? Did we really need that? And I said, well, because I needed something for this guy to sign. And she says, whose signature is that? And I'm like, whose signature do you think it is? And she looks at it and she just went, oh. So yeah, I met Stan at Dragon Con last year. Someone, oh, where can I buy one of your shirts? You can buy those shirts at cafepress.com/megapodtastic. The link is in most of my videos. So, hey, if you want to pick one up. I would like to get some new shirts. I want to get one that says like "Good Morning Megapodlings." I don't know. Maybe I keep wearing those pajamas shirt. I don't know. I gotta get some more designs, but I don't have it yet. Do I have any Ghostbusters figures or toys? No, Jesse, I don't. Unfortunately, I love Ghostbusters, but you know, if I can't collect everything, it would get out of hand. So Star Wars and Star Trek and Back to the Future are probably my big things. Someone asked a question here and it got away from me. Excuse me. And I lost it. I'm sorry. Oh, does my dad have a legacy he's going to leave behind? Well, Joey, my dad passed away already. My dad passed away in 2013. Miss him desperately. He never met my daughter. Never met his granddaughter. Joey Baseball, I'll come right back to that. Mental note to come back to that. But, excuse me. I'm still getting over being sick, mind you. But yeah, my dad had a lot of little inside jokes. He used to, you know the movie Scrooge with Albert Finney, the musical version of Scrooge? Whenever someone said thank you to him, he would always sing, "Thank you very much. Thank you very much. That's the nicest thing that anyone's ever done for me." So that was one of his little things. And he used to sing, when I was a little kid, he used to sing to me, when I was going to bed, he'd sing, "Timey kangaroo down, sport, timey kangaroo down." And he also had just some weird little quirks. Like he used to say, when we were cleaning, instead of run the I think most people say run the vacuum. Isn't that what most people would say? My dad always said pass the vacuum. Pass the vacuum. We got to go pass the vacuum. I always thought that was odd. And, you know, my brother and I will still say that to each other. We'll be like, pass the vacuum. So I was asked who recorded the Keep Wearing Those Pajamas song. The Keep Wearing Those Pajamas song is one of two themes. I got two theme songs. I got the Mega Podtastic song and the Keep Wearing Those Pajamas song. They're the opening and closing songs to the podcast, though I started putting them in the videos because they're great songs. I'm like, I got them. I should put them in the videos. My fear was they might be a little too long for the videos, but they were recorded by a friend of mine named Skiznot. If you Google Skiznot Music, Skiznot, he's got a few songs you'll find online, and I think he's brilliant. I think he's I don't think he thinks he's as brilliant as I think he is, but I'm always happy whenever he records anything. He also did the theme song to Honey, You Gotta See This. Mike Crawford asked where he can get the Pigs in Space set. That was made a couple years ago. There was well, I guess it was actually about a decade ago now. In the early noughts, there was a toy line of Muppets toys from Palisades Toys. They were fantastic. That's where that came from. Check eBay, check Amazon. I mean, they're a little old now, so I don't know how much it's going to run you, but they're out there. Joey asked what I think of the Grinch. I'm really excited about the Grinch. I hope it's good. I really hope it's good because I despise the Jim Carrey Grinch. Hate it so much. And the reason I hate it is, obviously, to turn a short story into a 2-hour movie, you have to expand the story. I get that. I expected them to expand the story. But I'm a firm believer that the Jim Carrey film fundamentally changed the story because they gave the Grinch backstory, and in the Grinch's backstory, they decided that the Who's run him out of town. They're like, they make fun of him as a kid. They treat him like garbage. They run him out of town. And basically, I feel like that's such a fundamental change because in the book, the feeling was the Grinch didn't understand Christmas, but the Who's did. The Who's got it. The Who's understood that it was about more than commercialism. It meant something more. And at the end, when the Grinch heard them singing, it dawned on him, and suddenly he got it. And he went down, and they didn't hesitate. They opened up their prayer, their song circle, whatever you want to call it, where they're all joined hands. They allow him right in. They let him carve the roast beast. And I really took it like, well, you were always welcome here, man. You were always allowed to be here, and you didn't want to, but now you're here, and we're thrilled to have you. Welcome. So I always felt like by making that change, the movie just changed who the Who's were. They changed the whole dynamic. I really did not care for it. So I'm excited for the new one. I'm just hoping it doesn't do what I feel was the biggest mistake of the original movie. The new version, the Grinch is in an orphanage and he hates Christmas because he never had a family growing up. See, I'm better off with that. I'm better off with that than the Who's chasing him out and saying, we don't want you here. In the Jim Carrey version, the Who's never ran him out of town, the horrible mayor did. But didn't the kids make fun of him in school? That's how I remember it. I haven't seen the movie since it was in the theater. But, I don't know, maybe I'll watch it again one of these days. But I only saw it once in the theater in 2000, and I really, at the time, didn't care for it and never watched it again. Will I be checking out Wreck-It Ralph 2? Absolutely. Already got my tickets. Wreck-It Ralph 1 was the first movie date I ever went on with my wife. My wife! Sorry. So yeah, I'll definitely... We've already got tickets. Hopefully we've already got tickets. I may have to refund them because I'm not sure we have a babysitter yet. Hopefully we have a babysitter. If we do, we got tickets. What else is happening there? I feel like there's been a lot of talk. Aquaman getting great reviews. Early screenings. The word coming out is that it's terrific. Couldn't be more excited about that. Really excited, actually. Also, talking about DC, I'm really hoping that the Henry Cavill cameo is back on for Shazam, because Shazam's going through reshoots. So I'm like, well, maybe. You know, the Who's weren't great, but it was because of the mayor. Was Jeffrey Tambor the mayor in that, or was he Cindy Lou Who's dad? He was in it, right? I'm sorry, 18-year-old fuzzy memory. I can't remember stuff that happened last week, so. Hey, last time we did this, it was suggested that I should talk about movies that I like that maybe a lot of people haven't seen. Last week I chose Free Enterprise. I got two here for you. They're kind of oddball films. And I doubt, I'll be shocked if any of you saw the first one. If any of you see the first one, have seen this first one I'm about to pull up here, I'm going to be astounded. Back in 1998, the movie Scream 2 had not, maybe it was 97. Scream 2 had not opened yet. Scream 2 had not opened yet, and I was a huge fan of Scream. And online, I read that a guy had made an amateur sequel to Scream, and he would send anyone a videotape of it that wanted it. You only had to pay $6. He wasn't selling the movie. $6 to pay for the videotape and the shipping. And I jumped on it. I was like, man, I gotta see this. And the movie is one that amongst my good friend Dave Perillo, who if you're a regular viewer, you've seen Dave Perillo in these videos before. You've seen him on CS's videos too. Dave and I still talk about this movie to this day because it is so ridiculous. It was shot by a guy who lived in Jacksonville, Florida. His name was Robert Lasowski. The movie is called Scream Louder. Scream Louder. This movie, the amateur sequel to Scream. Run faster, breathe harder, scream louder. Wow. This movie is ridiculous. It is absolutely ridiculous. Look, I tip my hat to the guy for making it. He put himself out there. He made a full-length feature film on videotape. He shot it on videotape. But there are plot holes. There are things in this movie that just don't make any sense. And he recasts the Scream cast with people that don't look anything like the actors from the movie. It's just, this movie is insane. And I'm sorry, I'm reading the questions while I'm talking. This movie is absolutely insane. This movie has dialogue. One of the characters is a pizza boy, a pizza delivery guy, okay? And he's sitting there watching the Courtney Cox character, not played by Courtney Cox in this, shocker, Gale Weathers. He's watching her on the news with a stack of pizzas next to him. He's sitting on the couch, stack of pizzas next to him, turns off the TV and says, "Boy, that Gale Weathers sure is hot. Well, time to go deliver some pizzas." And he picks up the pizzas and goes. It's crazy. It's like, wait a minute. When did the people order those pizzas? When were the pizzas made? How long have you been sitting on the couch with people's pizzas? Because those pizzas, you did not deliver them in 30 minutes or less. Have you been sitting there with a stack of pizzas this big watching the news in your house? He's not even in a pizza shop. That's just one of the many things that is absolutely insane about this movie. Scream Louder. I love it. It's ridiculous. It's insane. Good luck tracking a copy of this down. You're probably not going to be able to do it. But if I should find a way to digitize this videotape and put it up on YouTube, share it with the world. I don't know that Robert Lasowski would mind. He can't profit off it anyway. It would be illegal. Because he even said that when he was selling the tapes. He said, look, I can't profit off this. I don't own Scream. You're just paying me for the videotape and the shipping. So he knows. If I could ever get this up on YouTube, I should, because this is a gem right here. Best like $6 I ever found. I ever spent. fantastic. Martinez Joe asked, is there ever a movie that I knew nothing about that was blown away by? Probably Vanilla Sky. Vanilla Sky is one of my... it's a movie I love. It's my favorite Tom Cruise movie. It's my favorite Cameron Crowe movie. And I didn't know anything about Vanilla Sky walking in. I don't remember what movie I was there to see. But... oh! Brandon found a trailer for Scream Louder on YouTube. Please send me that link. I'll have to look for that. Man, if I can find the trailer, I'll post it in a link below. If after the fact. Yeah. Anyway, Vanilla Sky. I was going to the theater to see another movie. I don't even remember what movie I was going to see, but the movie was sold out, and I went and saw Vanilla Sky as a fallback, and I loved it so much. I went back the very next day. I actually took my dad. At the time, I was living with my parents, and I said, Dad, you got to see this movie. You got to see it. And I dragged him out the next night and made him watch it. And, yeah, still love that movie. It's a divisive movie, too. I know a lot of people really don't like it. I don't understand. I think it's fantastic. But, you know, to each their own. So that's one that I didn't know anything about that really blew me away. Another one was just about a year ago, Colossal with Anne Hathaway and I'm drawing a blank on his name. Jason from the Horrible Bosses. Stephen F says he's having all kinds of trouble on the Cinema Sickness page live stream. Okay. I can see your post. I don't know if that was the problem. I can see it. I can tell you that much. Anyway, Colossal. If you've never heard of Colossal, it's basically a kaiju movie about a girl who finds out that if she walks through a park at a certain point in the night, she turns into a giant kaiju in Jason Sudeikis. Thank you, Gavin. Name went right out of my head. She turns into a giant kaiju in Korea. It's crazy. It's insane. I never heard of it. Didn't know anything about it. And one day I just happened to have a little bit of time on my hands. Kids, I think I got out of work a little early. The kids didn't have to be picked up till such and such a time. I just had this window of spare time. And I thought, hey, I got enough time that I could see a movie. And I didn't know it was out because I didn't expect to go see a movie that day. And I checked the listings, and it's Colossal with Anne Hathaway. What the heck is this? Look up the trailer on YouTube, and I'm like, ooh, never heard of this movie. Again, that's another one that I went back to see the very next day, and I dragged Dave Perillo this time. I'm like, I come out of that movie, I'm like, Dave, you gotta see what I just saw. It's insane. And the next night I guess that's my reaction when I see something I don't know anything about and I'm blown away by it, is to drag someone off the next day because I seem to repeat that behavior. There's not many times I've done that. I think the times I've done that are Vanilla Sky, Memento, Christopher Nolan's Memento, and Colossal. I think those are the 3 times I saw a movie, was so blown away, I dragged someone off the next day and said, you gotta see this, and went back the very next day. I don't know if this scotch is helping my toothache, but it is great. So, I gotta be careful. I saw a guy, Stephen F. asked, what's my favorite home-cooked meal? Meatloaf. Meatloaf, I love meatloaf. I went to Memphis back in 2005, and I came back with a recipe card. You know, in the gift shop they sold postcards that said from Elvis's kitchen, from Elvis's personal chef, and there was a recipe for Elvis's favorite meatloaf. Fantastic, love it. Another movie that I never heard of, I have to think about it. Have I seen The Meg? I did see The Meg. I didn't care for it. And the Dip Run trailer, Steven, I tried to remember that title, and I forgot it. As you may have noticed, I was getting very sick last week, and when I didn't write it down. And when I got done, I couldn't remember that. I am writing it down right now. Dip Run trailer. Next time you ask, I will have seen it because I totally wrote it down now. Next time I will remember, and I apologize. It's just, man, last week, man, you guys watched me like just fall apart over here. Would I like to see Mike Myers in a Keith Moon biopic? Sure. Why not? Do I have Jennifer 8 on Blu-ray? I don't. Never even seen Jennifer 8. Is Zuma Thurman in that? I've heard the title, but I've never seen it. I got another weird movie for you here. Another weird movie that I like, that a lot of people have never heard of. It is insane. It is ridiculous. There's a company in the Philadelphia area called Movie Collector. I have heard of the Christmas toy. I've never seen it. I should see it. Obviously, it's Henson, so it's up my alley. There's a group, like a little group around here in the Philly area called Exhumed Films, and what they do is they pull up old movies. They get 35mm prints of old movies, and they show them on the big screen. And every Halloween, I don't know if they still do it because I stopped going. Once I had kids, I stopped going. Every Halloween, they used to have a horror movie marathon where they would show 24 hours of straight horror movies. And you never knew what you were going to see. That was the thing. They wouldn't tell you on their 24-hour horror movie marathons what movies they were showing. You just had to show up, and you didn't know until the movie started running what the movie was going to be. And every year, they would pull out something crazy, something insane. This movie, I saw when I first saw it at Exhumed Films. It was not available on Blu-ray. But then, if you've ever heard of the company Vinegar Syndrome put this out, and you can get it on Blu-ray now. The movie's called Raw Force. Raw Force. This movie is crazy. If you've never heard of Raw Force, this is one to check out. Let me give you a plot summary of Raw Force. The Beverly Hills Karate Club. Oh no, excuse me. I'm reading the back here. The Burbank Kung Fu Club. Apparently it wasn't Beverly Hills. It's the Burbank Kung Fu Club travels. They take a cruise. And they end up on an island where cannibal monks have the ability to reanimate the dead. Raw Force. I love it. It's fantastic. It's terrible, but it's terribly good. I recommend this to anyone. Now, this is definitely an exploitation film, so there's a lot of nudity in it. I recommended it to someone who was uncomfortable. They said they felt like they were watching porn. I think that's a gross exaggeration, but I do want to put the disclaimer out there. If you watch Raw Force, if you go in blind by it on my recommendation, just know there's a lot of nudity in here. It's definitely an exploitation film. All right, I am going to scroll back because I missed a few comments. Only went to one Fathom event. It was for the Iron Giant, and I hated that it was the only choice and at a very specific time of day. I'm actually going to a Fathom event Wednesday. I'm going to see Die Hard. Crazy Horror Company is Toe Tag out of Pittsburgh. I haven't heard of them. Vinegar Syndrome is awesome, Troy says, for putting out obscure movies on Blu-ray. Kino Lober puts out some great catalog. Absolutely. I've said this before on Cinema Sickness's live stream, and I still mean it. 2 movies somebody has to put out. Somebody. I thought Scream Factory was a natural, but, you know, hey, Vinegar Syndrome could do it. Anyone. Someone's got to put out 2 1998 films. One of them is the movie Happiness. by Todd Solondz, who made Welcome to the Dollhouse. It is a weird little movie. It's not for all tastes. It is not for all tastes. One of the main characters is a pedophile. I read someone said they didn't like the movie because it glorified pedophilia. It does not glorify pedophilia, but one of the characters happens to be a pedophile. But the DVD really needs, it's not even in anamorphic widescreen, so it's pillar boxed on your screen. Same thing with another 98 movie, the movie Six String Samurai. If you've never heard of Six String Samurai, if you're a fan of Evil Dead, Six String Samurai will be up your alley. It's kind of a weird cult film. It's not really like Evil Dead. It's kind of in the ballpark in that it's a weird cult film, but Wish I Had Her in the House with Gary Busey came to DVD or Blu-ray. I'm not familiar with that one, but I would check it out. So what else do we have to talk about today? Am I going out on Thursday for Black Friday? Probably not. Probably not. Maybe. It's not impossible, but probably not. For one thing, I can't think of anything I need, movie-wise, at least. I think I picked almost everything up. Have I been the patron in a movie theater? I apologize, I don't understand the question. Good night, Marie. Thank you for being here. Appreciate you stopping by. I think this is one of the, I'm looking at the number of people viewing. I think this is one of the biggest live streams I've had in terms of viewers. Probably because Rick advertised it. Come out with the crew and hang out. Well, you know, Chris, it's not that I wouldn't like to. But you got to remember the kids are off. So doing that means leaving Christine home alone with the kids. And that is, that doesn't always go over. So, you know, she obviously, I get out and do some hunting every now and then, but Kira's hard to handle. Kira's very hard to handle right now, so it's not the easiest thing. I feel guilty doing it. You know, even when she'll say like, "Oh yeah, go ahead," and I'll be like, I don't know. I feel guilty doing it. Oh, I do have some stuff for CS though. I was in a thrift store and I saw some laser discs that I thought would be up his alley. And I called him and he did want a couple of them. So I do have to get them to him. I don't get out much. Yeah, I get out. You know what? Like I'm doing this live stream. Everyone's asleep in the house except for me. Kids are asleep. My wife's asleep. I come on and do a live stream. It's the same thing when I go to the movies. I'll get tickets for like the 10 o'clock show. Kids asleep. Wife's asleep. I'll go to see a movie. So that's the way it goes for me. I go out when everyone else falls asleep. Is that Pigs in Space? Yes, it is. That is Pigs in Space right there. Is the cat asleep? No, the cat is on the couch right in front of me. I'm looking right at him, and he's staring at something on the ground. I don't know what, but he is staring at something. The important thing is he's not knocking things over, and that's always a good thing. He like was knocking all these Star Trek guys over here. These are the ones from Burger King when the '09 movie came out.
Enterprise. Enterprise.
I had a friend who was always trying to get me to give him these. I'm like, no way.
Live long and prosper.
Here's my favorite.
I'm a doctor, not a physicist.
So, yeah, the cat was knocking them down. Favorite Die Hard movie is Die Hard with a Vengeance. My favorite's the original, but Die Hard with a Vengeance is easily my second favorite. And I don't know if Die Hard 4 or Die Hard 5 is my least favorite. I used to say I thought Die Hard 5 was an improvement over Die Hard 4, but I'm not sure. Is that a functional cook machine? That is a popcorn maker. It is a Coca-Cola branded popcorn maker over there. The Glenfiddich is making my throat very dry. So I was watching a video on YouTube this week, and the guy doing the video was drunk, and he even said, "I'm drunk." And it was the most embarrassing video. Like, I felt bad for the guy. I felt like embarrassed for him, so gotta be very careful about that. Dark Angel, The Ascent. Dark Angel, is that the one with Dolph Lundgren that was retitled I Come in Peace? I never saw that movie, but I remember the trailer, I come in peace, and you go in pieces. Just a great line. There was a trailer today for Toy Story 4. Did anyone see that? Pretty excited about that. I hope they keep the momentum up, because Toy Story 1 through 3 are excellent. And unfortunately, they're so good, those movies, that they got nowhere to go but down. I worry about them screwing it up. I hope they don't. I mean, it's Pixar. I got faith in them, but I don't know. The fourth one, you're pushing your luck, man. You've defied the odds with 3 incredible movies as it is. You're tempting fate. Toy Story 1 and 2 are great, but 3 was a low point for Toy Story. Wow. A lot of people would disagree with you on that. I know a lot of people that think Part 3 is the best of them. I think Toy Story 2 is my favorite of the 3. But a lot of people really, really love that third one. I thought, if nothing else, it really did provide, I thought, a perfect endpoint for the series. Die Hard or Lethal Weapon? Easy. Die Hard. Absolutely Die Hard. John McClane is my homeboy. I love the first 3 Die Hards. It's all about a young falling angel who went to Earth and began punishing evildoers. Sounds interesting. I have no interest in seeing toys go to daycare. Fair enough. They do get out of the daycare, though. 48 Hours or Beverly Hills Cop. Ooh, that's tough. I'm going to say Beverly Hills Cop, but I'm not confident in my answer. That's what I'm going to say, but I'm not positive on that one. I heard something weird. Just watched the new Predator movie. Not as bad as everyone was saying. I really liked it. I absolutely dug the new Predator. I thought it was really, really fun. I saw people complaining it didn't take that it wasn't serious enough, but that's kind of what I liked about it. Favorite superhero movie, Collector asks. My favorite superhero is, without question, DC Comics Booster Gold. I just think Booster Gold is great. I love Booster Gold. Favorite Richard Dreyfuss movie? Depends on the mood I'm in. The easy answer is Jaws. Jaws is phenomenal. But I also I really love What About Bob, which couldn't be a more different movie. Obviously, they're very different. Do I own any of the 50-pack Mill Creek sets? None of the 50-packs. I do own... Oh, man, this is funny. This came up at work the other day. We were talking about It's Pat the movie. And I mentioned... We were talking about how horrible that movie is, and I mentioned I own it. People were like, you own that? Why would you own that? And I'm like, it was on a Mill Creek set that had a couple other movies I wanted on it, and I ended up buying it. And it's got 12 movies, and the movies I wanted were like, the #1 movie I wanted on there was Celtic Pride, which isn't a great movie, but I kind of dig that, with Damon Wayans and Dan Aykroyd. But It's Pat the movie was on there, so I own It's Pat the movie. Yeah, but none of the 50 packs I don't have. Is What About Bob on a Region 1 Blu-ray yet? I think it is. Thoughts on Patton Oswalt replacing Louis C.K. on Pets, Secret Life of Pets 2? Full disclosure, I didn't see Secret Life of Pets yet. I did not see Secret Life of Pets yet, but I think they made the only decision they could. Whether you think... People have different opinions. People have very different opinions on the matter. But whether you think Louis C.K. deserves the treatment he's got or not, just from a business standpoint, you got to remember that the studio would have gotten crucified if they kept him. They would have the press would have gone after them with pitchforks. They really didn't have much of a choice at this time. I'm not saying he can never make a career comeback, but he couldn't have him right now. And I like personally as a comedian, I like Patton better, so. I think it'll be fine. The trailer made me laugh. Steven asked what my favorite band is. That's a good question. If you look on this very channel, some of the earlier videos I posted, I posted things I would probably never post again. But at that time, I was like, okay, I'm posting this. When I was at Dragon Con a couple of years ago, Nerf Herder performed, and I got several Nerf Herder videos from Dragon Con on this very channel. Nerf Herder is one of my favorites. Some of my other favorites are Real Big Fish. They Might Be Giants. And I don't know. Those are my favorites. Let's see. So many Touchstone Hollywood Picture movies need a Blu-ray. What about Bob, Captain Ron, Encino Man? I agree. I apologize if you said something I didn't get to it. I did not see the Ugly Dolls teaser trailer. Do I remember a TV show called New York Undercover? I remember it. Didn't watch it regularly, but I do think I saw the pilot at work. I used to work for TV Guide, and they used to let us watch the pilots of new shows when they came in. What are my thoughts about Once Upon a Deadpool? I want to see it. I want to see it. It's interesting to say the least. Hopefully it'll be funny. Favorite video game movie? I don't know if I have a favorite video game movie. Probably The King of Kong. I know that's a cheat, but I'd say King of Kong Fistful of Quarters. Nerf Herder makes me think they need to let Joss Whedon do a proper video transfer. Yeah, you're right. Of Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Absolutely correct. I have seen Christopher Robin. I really liked it. I thought it was great. Well, guys, I am going to wrap things up now. We've been going for almost an hour. Actually, this says we've only been going for 48 minutes. I thought it was about an hour, but my throat's starting to get a little scratchy. I've been talking a bit, so maybe that's it. What I was trying to say earlier is, have you ever been the only person in a showing of a movie? I'm certain I have. I'm certain I have. I can't remember what movie. I know there's been movies where I've been one of only like 2 or 3 people in the theater. I'm certain there have been ones where I was the only guy. Oh, The Good Dinosaur. When I saw The Good Dinosaur, I was the only one there. I'm sure there have been others too. I know there have been others. I just can't remember what movies. I'm working on something interesting. There's a video I'm working on. It's going to take me a while to finish it, but it revolves around movie theaters. I'm pretty excited about it. I was by myself watching the Rick Moranis movie Big Bully. Oh, Big Bully. I saw that in the theater. I was not alone, though. All right, guys, I am starting to get a scratchy in the throat. I'm still not 100%. I will look for the trailer for Scream Louder if I can find it, and I will post it down below if I can find it. So, thanks. I appreciate you watching. I really, really do. Muppet Murder Movie. Oh, yes. The Happy Time Murders. There were very few of us in that theater. Have I tried the oregano oil yet? I haven't. I don't think we have oregano oil. I should write that down too. I'm writing down oregano oil. I gotta remember that. Thanks for the tip. I gotta start doing these with a notepad handy. Hey, no problem. Happy to do a live stream. It's always fun. The trick is time in my case. So happy to do it. Well, everyone, keep wearing those pajamas. I'm already wearing mine. You can't see. You know what? I'll show you. Hang on. I'm wearing Cookie Monster jammies. Yeah, Cookie Monster jammies. You like how I don't talk about things for 20 minutes? It depends. Depends. If you like a wind-up doll, you wind me up, I'll go. I'll keep going. But I gotta stop for the night. I gotta rest my voice. Keep wearing those pajamas. And thanks for watching.